Hi, it's Ian here, and I am here to discuss what could be potentially a great opportunity. I just came across it maybe about 2, 3 weeks ago, and I'm stepping out of character and I'm actually going to share it. So, what you see in front of you, or what brought you to this video, is that I'm going to talk about Forex. I'm not going to go into the bare bones of what Forex is or things of that nature because you're going to learn that. But to give you a short answer, currencies are linked with each other. And sometimes if the value of one of those currencies goes up against another currency, the other currency goes down. There's a lot of factors that go into that, the economy, different types of news, different events, political events and things of that nature kind of causes this to kind of happen. Now, it's I don't want to say it's an easy way to make money, but it is definitely a way to change your life for the better if you get a system that you understand or a strategy and you get the hang of what's going on. Right now, this chart that you're looking at right now may be a bit confusing if you're not familiar with investing, but once you get the hang of it, again, it's super, super easy. So I'm going to go over a few things and then talk about, the opportunity or what we can do where you can learn Forex trading for free and also take advantage of signals so you can kind of earn money while you're learning, and you don't have to worry about paying or investing any money at this time to do so. Now, you're going to have to invest money to open an account. That's with anything. If you want to trade stocks or anything like that, you have to have the money to do that. So just understand, the little disclaimer here is, don't invest in, stocks and bonds or any kind of investment vehicle with money that you don't have. So, don't use your rent, use money that you can afford to lose. But if you follow things carefully, there's always a risk reward. So you're not risking so much money to begin with, which you'll also learn about later. So the first thing I want to go into about Forex and the reason why I like it is that it's like a intellectual way of gambling. And I don't like to use the term gambling when I talk about the Forex market. I don't like to, even when I'm winning a trade, quote unquote winning, I don't like to say winning. I like to say that, I'm profiting because this is not a game. It's in a form of investing. So you kind of have to have a mindset that when you're making money or when you're profiting, that you're like, oh, gee, I won. Because then, when you're playing a game, there are certain things that kind of come from that. So you want to treat it more seriously because it's not a game. I like it because it seems like it's a higher brow of gambling. And for example, when I go to Vegas, craps is my favorite game. Now, even with the game of craps or blackjack or even slot machines, you can approach it with a certain strategy. There are certain ways that one person may approach the craps table as far as walking away with as much money as possible that may be different from someone else. The only thing with the craps table, though, is that you have one element that is somewhat beyond your control, and that's the dice. You're hoping that it rolls on a certain number to allow you to get more money or win money, if you will. And then you're also dependent on whoever's rolling that dice, which can be a complete stranger, to roll the number that you're looking for at that time where everyone at the table wins in some shape, fashion, or form. So there's an element of an unknown. So no matter how skilled you are at craps, there's still that part that you don't really have much control over. Same thing with blackjack. Same thing with anything else. You unless you're card counting, there's really no way to know how those cards are going to unfold based on who you're playing with and that kind of thing. Maybe blackjack wasn't the best example. Craps was. I'll stick with craps. So Forex or any kind of investing, but in this situation, Forex is better because you do have that. There's a level of control and predictability that you have when you're trading Forex. You're not just going and saying, oh, the price of the euro is going to go down, so I'm going to just push this button here and here we go. It takes some analysis in doing that. Now, people have different types of analysis, the ways in which they do so, and I'm not going to go into that because it's a whole nother video, which I can, discuss later on if you're so inclined. But there's different ways in which you analyze this chart. Like, for example, if you see this red and this white EMA lines, which you'll know what that is, the way they move and flow can help you determine if a trade is good or not. So that's one example of what we call an indicator. Even this trend line here, they can be drawn to show, what the market is doing currently and if something's going to happen. Like in this area, we're hoping that this breaks through and you'll go for a sell. Or some people may hope that it's going to go up and they'll go in for a buy. So either way, there's different ways in which people use the strategy to win or, well, not win, but profit or lose on these particular trades. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about is, so the two examples I gave you were like indicators, where you're using a tool. This is also another indicator where, depending on how these lines are moving and flowing, it determines what the market is doing, and it makes you, or it puts you in a position to make an educated decision on if this is a good trade to buy or sell. That's the whole point of an indicator. There are some people who don't use indicators at all. They do what's called price action. They kind of look at the way price is moving, and then from there, they decide what they need to do. They believe that, indicators aren't necessary. You can look at a naked chart and know exactly what's going on. So everyone has different ways of doing that. So that's the basics of what I wanted to talk about. In this particular example, the chart that I'm having is the Euro New Zealand dollar, which is right here. And it's just an overall chart of what's going on. And you see the pricing is over here as far as how much that goes. And when you're making a purchase, it's determined in pips. Again, I'm not going to go into the super basics of it because that's what the boot camp is going to be for, that's coming up. So now that I got that out the way, now that we know this is all Greek to us and, you may not know what this means, let me make sure, hopefully I didn't deter anyone and you're still interested in what I'm going to talk about. Now, here's the thing. So there's a company, I've been into Forex for quite some time, and it's kind of hard finding a strategy or a group that really works. Sorry about that. I had to actually pause. So I'm not sure if I cut off the message or not, but there was a phone call. So I'm back. All right. So here's the thing. So I've been trading for a while, and, I've kind of paid money for courses and things like that. I don't want to completely blame the company because sometimes I probably didn't apply myself enough, or I didn't know that I was ready to start using live money. And that's another benefit with Forex, is that you don't have to use live money. You can use demo money. Basically, you'll have an account. It's just like a regular account as if you were using your own cash, but it's play money. And people usually trade in their demo accounts if they're trying to test out a new strategy, or if they just want to see if they're ready to go live, if they may not be ready to risk a certain amount yet. So you have that demo account to practice with. So I think I had the tools with different companies, but I just was still not completely confident that I was ready to use my own money until I found another group that I'm with right now, where I've truly learned. And we started learning binary options through Nadex first, and then we transitioned over to Forex. And I will admit that I've always been interested in Forex. I think since I was a kid and the movie Boiler Room came out, like, even though that's a little bit different because that was trading stocks and that kind of thing, but just the idea of being into this thing where you just easily can make money. And I always knew foreign exchange was the way to go, but I really didn't have anyone around me that I knew personally that would teach me. So, I kind of went through trial and error trying to learn from different people, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.